Another crack open the book. Short. Just a minute or two, maybe three. We're looking at this topic of the Bible is not hard to understand. As you can see from the background, we are enjoying a fine here in North Dakota as we tackle the question of the interpretation of the Bible. The key or the secret we've already covered into understanding the Bible is just follow the rules. There are rules for literature, and we've been focusing on those things as we see here in the following. We've chosen the inductive logical method of interpreting the Bible. We allow the text to lead us to the understanding. This method consists of fundamentally two components. One, hermeneutics, the art and science of interpreting the Bible. And number two, exegesis. Those are the rules of grammar and meanings of words and phrases and contextual things that are related to the culture and so forth, to bring out the meaning of it. That is not to be confused with eisegesis, is which where the person interpreting the text makes the text say what they want it to say, like viewing it through the eyes of the 21st century individual instead of the first century in which it was written. So we don't want any eisegesis, we want exegesis. We also operate off of the fundamental principle that the Bible is infallible, it's complete, it has been accurately translated, and it's intelligible and can be understood. And certainly we've looked at several of the ideas that we all follow in literature, where we read something and we look for clues and the meanings of words, and certainly texting versus proof of text. This is a high alert issue when dealing with any kind of literature, but specifically with the Bible. We need not to do proof texting. We need to provide proof of text, but not proof texting. For proof texting is the art of making a false statement as if it were true. And you would be surprised to learn all the passages in the Bible where this. So, for a more clearer definition, proof texting. Sometimes it is the practice of isolating out of context quotations from a document, not just the Bible, to establish a proposition. Such quotes may not accurately reflect the original intent of the author, and a document quoted in such a manner, when read as a whole, may not support the proposition for which it was cited at all. So no proof texting, no taking a passage and making a giant theological case by extracting it out of a much larger. This is something that all literature complies with if we're going to get the real meaning. As this one writer says, a text without a context is a pretext for a proof text. What that basically means is that you're not going to get to the bottom of what the writer was actually trying to say if you follow this process. Here's an example for us. A text out of context. Commonly, it's so frequently said, don't judge me. You shouldn't judge. That is baloney, especially when they say, hey, that's what the Bible says. The Bible says, judge not. Well, here again, proof texting at its best. When we look at the context of the actual passage, the text says, don't judge unless you're willing to be judged by the same standard of measure. And then later on in the same passage, it doesn't say not to judge. It says to make sure that you can see clearly before you do it. So before you make a judgment, make sure you get all the facts. It doesn't say not to judge. That is ridiculous, and it's a fine example of proof text. The final rule that we're focusing on is context is king. This writer puts it this way. Context is everything. We must ground our work in a rich understanding of the context of use, or else we run the risk of creating a well-meaning rubbish. And we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to say they're well-meaning. But I don't know that that's always true. But how do we avoid even the well-meaning rubbish? We must follow removing the rubbish out of proof texting. The Bible is to be treated with the same logic and common sense as any ordinary, intelligent writing. For though it is from God, its message is conveyed to mankind in the same way that men communicate with each other. Why so many different churches? Not everybody follows the rules. That's why. When you don't follow the rules, you're going to get different interpretations. Following the rules to unlock the gospel. In the series that we are about to embark on, now that we've covered all the rules, we're going to look at the gospel, a very common term used especially in the New Testament. But we're going to follow the rules to unlock this very important subject. So, until next time, follow the rules as you read the Bible. You'll have a better understanding of the intent of the original author upon the original reader. Until next time, keep reading.